Live.
Sure. Yeah.
Hi, we're live. This is the TCG show, and I'm here with Mason from Cardinal Gaming from Kentucky.
Hi.
So, thank you so much for coming on with me today.
Oh, are you kidding? Absolutely. Love to be a part. Obviously, me and Rob talk, but haven't ever talked to you before, so it's
Yeah,
so awesome to talk to you. Thank you so much.
yeah. It's Rob and I have. I don't want to say like we're fans. I guess we are fans. We were watching you before he even started the show. We'll call ourselves fans. Yeah,
We're fans of each other. We're fans
Yeah.
back and forth. It's mutual, so
Oh,
that's awesome.
I'm glad that I'm glad that you like my husband, but
And
like
you,
him
and
too.
not just him, but you as well. Of course. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we've learned a lot from you, especially like the IKEA not bins, but the drawers and everything. And
Oh.
like I really like watching your channel because the panic at the distro, I was just like dying. I was like,
Look,
I have to share
I
this.
thought it
It
was
was
good.
fantastic.
I thought it was good, and it didn't get the love that I thought it deserved, but that's okay.
You got all the love from me. I was like, this guy's good. He's funny. I was like, I like
I mean, look,
it.
I try.
So tell me about Cardinal Gaming. How long have you been open?
Yeah. So I've been in Cardinal Gaming for this is our 9th year. In June will be going on 10, which is awesome.
Wow.
I've been doing buying and selling trading cards mostly with Pokemon for 12-ish, let's say. That's probably a fair thing to say. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of that, and that's how I kind of got with the business. I have a business partner named Zach. He does video games and was doing video games when we started the business. So we kind of joined forces and did a fusion dance and became Cardinal Gaming. With we do a hybrid model, so we have video games and then trading cards, and then of course we've gone into D&D, other tabletop stuff, anime, and Japanese things like that. So just all kinds of just like a nerdy, fun shop. That's Cardinal. We have 2 locations now here in Louisville, so we're doing okay. I think we're okay.
Yeah,
You
2
know,
locations, especially like in the state. Well, right now it's really good, but right before
yeah.
it's been really good. It wasn't so great for a little while, and especially someone who's been in it for 12 years and with a brick and mortar for 10. I mean, like I'm sure you've seen the ups and downs over the time. And I mean, like Rob started the store a little over 3 years ago, and it was like right at the end of like the really big boom during COVID. So
Yeah.
to see where like how low the lows got, and now just to see how it rocket shipped up. So what do you think is going to happen now?
What I think, just in general, what's going to happen? Oh God, man.
Well, I mean, like where do you see this going in the next couple months?
This is pretty. Like this is probably one of the most insane singles markets I've ever seen, and not to bring Rob into every single conflict I have, but I'm sure he does. He does great on TCG Player. We do a lot with on TCG Player as well, and it's just insane. The throughput, buying and selling on both ends right now. It's especially for Pokemon. It's just crazy. We also do a lot with Magic as well. That is another game that's also doing well, and also has like for the first time in as far as I can remember, product shortages and kind of things selling out and not being easy to find. So a lot of stuff going on with that. I think TCGs as a whole this year is going to be very, very strong. Pokemon shows no sign of letting up. Magic has Final Fantasy and all kinds of great stuff coming down the pipes later on this year. So
SpongeBob.
Oh yeah, how can I forget SpongeBob? Of course.
I mean, I'm excited for SpongeBob. Someone who has like zero interest in Magic, but I was just like, SpongeBob's coming.
I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people that are very excited about SpongeBob. So it's not just you. So, but yeah. And then One Piece is still doing amazing. Yu-Gi-Oh's doing pretty good for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Right.
As the third but distant third in our store. It's it's doing okay. And then other games like Union Arena. I know Gundam. TCG has a new thing coming out here. I think in the summer officially. And it's basically it's a Bandai property, so it plays just like One Piece. So it's going to be in the same kind of vein and probably see a lot of popularity as well. So a busy week, busy year
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
TCGs. So um, I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. I think we're going to be okay for a little while, as long as we can get the sealed product. That's
Right.
obviously the hardest part.
Oh, so how frequently are you doing shows outside of or selling outside of your store? I know you mentioned to me that you do collecticons and you do some local store or local shows, but how frequently are you doing that?
Yeah, we do probably 4 or 5 shows a year, and it's not just cards. We take our video games and
Hmm.
Gundams. Gundams do very well. A lot of the anime figures and things like that do very well. Plushies are insane at conventions and things. So we do kind of bring the whole spread of everything, and so we normally do like 4 to 5. We did Collecticon Chicago last year, which was awesome. We did very well at that show. So we try to do a couple collecticons, or at least one collecticon a year. We've done Charlotte previous years, the year before, and then Chicago last year. So hopefully this year we'll do at least 1 or 2. They're doing 2 in Chicago this year, so we might do both of them. Not sure yet, but uh,
How,
and then we
how
do local
far?
shows
Oh,
as well.
okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, so how often are they doing local shows, and like are they big, or how many tables do
Um,
they usually have at these shows?
no, yeah. One is a very like video game focused convention. They do like pinballs and arcades and kind of cool custom stuff
Oh,
like that. So it's kind of like a different kind of a vibe, but Pokemon's popular with that same demographic, obviously. So
uh-huh.
do a lot of take our good singles and stuff and take them to shows there. And then we do other like little local shows, like little pop culture or anime conventions, stuff like that are here locally. About an hour and a half away. Some of the more rural spots are we'll go to Lexington, which is about an hour and a half away. Um, we wanted to do Cincinnati last year. We didn't get a chance to, but that's
Mm.
only like 2 hours away too. So we are a nice little hub of all kinds of cool stuff. We can get to a couple big cities from where we're at too. So a 2 or 3 hour drive. Indianapolis is also 3 hours, so
Wow,
it's not
that's
too
not
bad.
bad.
It's not too bad, and so we get a good spread of hitting some other cities that we don't normally get exposure to, which is good.
Do you guys have a lot of local shows, like smaller shows, like 50 table, 100 table shows, or is it you
Um,
have to like drive a distance,
no,
like
yeah, I
two
mean,
hours?
with having a local, a store that people can come into, doing local shows, I'd much rather just have those people come to our store and kind of
Yeah,
like just have them come in. So we definitely, if we're gonna do a show, we're gonna we're gonna show out and do a big spread, do lots of tables, where we can bring in all kinds of great stuff and kind of maximize the workload for that.
hmm,
Uh, but otherwise, it really feels bad to take all those things to a show and then the store suffers because there's nothing in the store,
yeah,
it's just empty shelves. So it's kind of weird to balance that kind of stuff and make sure that I'm not forgetting my local guys that come in every weekend if they want to. So it's a tough balance to do that kind of stuff. But I'd like to do more with that and do more card specific shows because I think there's a lot of good opportunity. I mean, obviously just now especially, but even in normal times, just as far as sourcing, getting people to know that if they have stuff they want to sell, where we're at, come see us.
yeah,
Um, I mean, shows are so important to networking and getting in touch with people that are local to you. I think it's great that there's more and more of them now. So they're not some places have them monthly or a couple shows a month. How often do you guys do yours? You guys do yours?
oh man, in New Jersey we have like 2 shows a weekend. It's
Oh,
crazy.
geez.
There's
All right.
so there's shows at, you can go top to bottom in New Jersey in like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Like the very top of New Jersey, it's all the way to the very bottom. But like we usually, our show runs right now. We're doing them monthly, but we're going to slow
Okay.
down during the summer because I didn't want to conflict too much with the Collecticon schedule since so many of our vendors go to Collecticon.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I thought when I'm booking like 10 months out, so I didn't know what the volume of vendors I would get would be.
Sure.
So, but now I have such a huge influx of new vendors. It's something that I never could have predicted that I was going to have, between 20 and 50 people message me every month and say like, hey, I'm new to vending, I want to get into it. Or I'll
Yeah.
meet them once at a show and they'll say, hey, Marilyn, I love your show. I want to get into vending. What do I do? And that's kind of how the podcast is born, is that talking to people who are vending and in the TCG world, and could try and give people advice on like how to network and how to set up and where to go and how to do it. So that's right now we're doing shows once a month. We have one that's coming up this coming Sunday, and it's our big show. So it's 140 tables. And our last show was January 25th, and it was 90 tables, and we had over 1,500 attendees.
Wow.
So
that's
that's
great.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's booming. It really is. And it was something that started out as like 30 tables and 100 attendees. It was really small, but I wanted to get into do something, get involved somehow with the business. And I was just getting in the way, hanging out in the store. So I met one of the vendors, and she kind of turned me on to what it is to have a show. So I started that a little over a year ago. So it's grown a lot, and I'm very, very happy with it. It's exciting. It's an exciting time to be a part of TCG and Pokemon, especially just because it's all the people that you're meeting. I mean, like you mentioned networking, and I'm like, that was something, the community part of it was something that I didn't really understand or know was going to be such a huge part of it. But I think that the connections that people are making within the shows, it's really nice. And I'm happy to be a part of that. Do you have a lot of streamers that come into the store or are around you? Like, do you meet a lot of streamers?
Yeah. They have to sell their bulk to somebody. So yeah, the streamers love to bring me their bulk and all their cheaper stuff that I use for bulk lots and things too. So yeah, getting in touch with all those guys and knowing that we're available, and obviously if they grade and things like that, they'll come through and buy some things for us. So very good relationship with those guys. So they are keeping me plenty stocked of bulk, and with the success of streaming and people pack ripping, it's a symbiotic relationship where they bring us stuff, and then they'll buy from me. Back when you couldn't find prismatic stuff, but they had to have it. They came in and bought from me. So yeah, it's a relationship that I think is not going to go anywhere. I think it's just going to go bigger and bigger. Obviously, it's a form of entertainment at this point. I think legitimized way of enjoying the hobby. So I think that's just part of it.
You got those Rokas working overtime.
Oh God, yes.
Right.
They run as much as we can feed into them right now. They are going full blast.
Are you open 7 days a week?
Yeah.
And you run the Roka inside the store, or do you have a separate warehouse?
We have like a back of house that we have them running in, so it's not as insane. These new ones they have two different versions, because we've had a Roka. Roka is a card sorting robot for folks that maybe don't know. I don't know if that was or if you had somebody on that has had one before, but yeah, the first models were really loud, but these new ones are pretty quiet. They're not too bad. If you had to run them in a store, it probably wouldn't be crazy, but yeah, getting them off the floor and where it's not as loud is definitely a plus, because that would get annoying if I had to sit and play a card game and listen to that.
Yeah. We Rob has his running like right behind this wall, and I can't hear it at all, so it's very good.
Yeah, they're pretty good now.
Yeah, the streamer, I've talked to a lot of streamers, and sourcing product has been like that's why a lot of them love being around New Jersey, because you could go every weekend and just source more and more product. And being in more rural areas or areas that they don't have larger card shows around as frequently, I gather that they're coming in, like all the streamers have to come into the stores. Or are there a lot of other stores near you, or are you it? I know you have another location, but are you?
Yeah, we have one store that's a lot larger than us. They do a lot with sports, but they do Magic and Pokemon as well. So we are definitely not the biggest fish here in town, but we're doing okay. And where they may get the more competitive and that kind of folks. We get the more casual and people that are collecting as opposed to just want to kind of be really aggressive and play really high stakes games. We get the more
Yeah.
casual, chill kind of guys that just want to hang out and play. So we know our spot, we know our place in the dynamic here locally. So um, we stay in our lane, and they kind of do their thing, and we do ours, and it's fine.
Do you think it's, or has it been hard, like with everyone coming in for Prismatic and all and Surging Sparks and
Yeah.
like everyone wants sealed product? Like, how are you dealing with all the people who are coming in and inevitably disappointed that don't have as much as they want, or you can't give them as much
Yeah.
as they want?
I'm sorry. Just say it one more time. The first
Oh,
part.
with all these new people, like that are coming in for Pokemon, and they want all these products
Oh
that
yeah,
you
yeah,
might
yeah.
not be able to have. Like, how are you kind of dealing with all of that?
Yeah, it's tough. Um,
Hmm.
it's hard to have people come into the store, see nothing on the shelves, and then keep coming back. Um,
Hmm.
Part of what I say so much on my YouTube videos is that as a store, I have to have product on the shelves,
Right.
even if it's way above whatever I got to pay to keep it in stock. Uh, Sometimes that's a strategy. Just say, hey, yeah, I
Right.
have these. I have Pokemon 151. It's expensive, but if you want it, it's there. And they at least
Right.
understand that okay, they have stuff, but if there's nothing on the shelves, that person is going to see that you have nothing on the shelves and then immediately just leave. And then they'll never come
Right.
back
Never come
because
back.
why
Right.
bother?
Right.
Why bother if you're not going to have the cool stuff that I want? Why go back? So
Right.
it's a strategy selling that market or even a little bit above market. You the price of convenience and things like that. You kind of factor that in, and people understand for the most part. Most people that are getting into it now, this is not new to them. It's some
Hmm.
of the older people that have been in for a long time. They're like, man, they kind of him and ha a little bit. But
Yeah.
most people that are in it now, they're kind of used to seeing prices go crazy. A lot of people that are new that are coming in, they get it. They understand. They understand more than the people that have been in it for a long time. So it's just it is what it is these days,
Right.
and that's just kind of what you got to tell them. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
in
go ahead.
the past probably in the past 2 weeks, I've probably have spent $15,000 on collections coming in, and just people wanting to get rid of cards. It's been the most insane purchasing I've done in a very long time, and that's basically off the back of Pokemon. So it's kind of been that kind of fueling the process of having people come in is just people look at this stuff and they go, "This is irresponsible for me to keep this card or whatever it is," and then
Right.
they'll sell to us just because the prices are going so crazy right now.
Are you having a lot of people sell you vintage or modern or
Oh,
slabs or singles? What are you
it's
getting?
all it's all modern. Not there's very little older stuff. Maybe some
Wow.
slabs and some older stuff, but it is mostly it's
Uh-huh.
all just modern stuff that I'm very happy to take because uh, say about a TCG player, it moves so fast. If it doesn't move in store, it moves almost overnight most of the time on TCG player. It's it's the ravenous nature of way people are just buying right now. The
Hmm.
supply just cannot meet the demand.
Are your popular Pokemon the Umbreon and the Charizard and the Gengar? I'm curious to see if it's like is it regional, or are you guys, is it just universal that everyone likes all the same Pokemon? I
Oh,
guess it's like
yeah, I think it's
Bubble
pretty
Muse.
standard.
Can you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty standard across the board. I'm pretty sure as far as like what people are into. I may have like somebody that's like a super like I have somebody that's like really likes Cubone and
Hmm.
just like is always comes in every week and searches the kiosks and try to look for Cubone cards that they may be
Uh-huh.
missing and stuff like that. So there's definitely like people that have their niche kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's always the Charizards, the Snorlaxes, Gengars, all the Eevees. It's all the same stuff people are wanting. And then even just I know a lot of people that are just building art rare binders. People that love the art rares. They used to be pretty reasonable and cheap,
Oh, really?
but people are just coming in and they want just a whole binder of just all the pretty new art rare cards. So I've seen a lot of people doing and coming in and trying to fill in their binders of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I had someone over the weekend say that they had they saw someone at a show and they had everything sorted by color. And that prompted the conversation after someone called and said, "Do you have a pink binder? Do you have a just pink Pokemon?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we have pink Pokemon, but they're in different binders. They're in the cases. They're all over the place." And I was just like, you know what? I've been talking about it for weeks, but I need to make a cuties binder. But I'm like, so many of them are cute because I'm like, that's essentially how I got into Pokemon. I wanted Jigglypuff and I wanted Clefairy and I wanted the cuties. And now I'm doing a master's of Crown Zenith because I'm a psychopath. I like, it was like my fame.
That's a great set. I think it's one of the best sets they've ever made.
It's so much fun to open. And it was like my famous line that I'm not a Pokemon guy. Someone would try and talk to me about Pokemon and be like, I'm not a Pokemon guy. I don't know what I'm doing. But now I'm queen of the Pokemon guys. And I'm also I'm ripping Crown Zenith and it's so much fun. And even if the hits are like a $1 or a full art that's worth 20 cents, but I'm like, this is fun for me because I'm opening it. And so prismatic, I know everyone's going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But I don't have any fun opening prismatic. It's expensive. I feel like I'm taking away from someone else who really wants it. Yeah. And like, I haven't gotten any hits. I've opened one ETB. That was it. I was like, you know what? I did get a Roaring Moon and I'm happy. I'm happy with that. But I'm like, also like, this is boring, like Crown Zenith, I get a Sea and Sky box. I'm like, oh my gosh, you feel like you got a little value and it's fun. For me, I think it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's like so many people, the value has to be there. And there's people that do want to go after the chase stuff and, take a stab at getting something, but Obsidian Flames, why is that set so popular? It has nothing of really crazy value in it. Maybe a couple of good art rares and the Charizard, of course, but people just like to open it. They like the chance of trying to get a Charizard. They like the chance of it's just the base rarity Charizard. Hey, I got one, right? So
people love the Charizard.
They do. They really, really do. And then the EVs are. I mean, it's just everybody has a favorite EV. What's your favorite?
Right. I like Sylveon.
Yeah, I mean that's
probably
what number Cutie. 2 I would say. I would probably say number 2 after the.
Really? Run. You think after Umbreon, you think it's Sylveon or not Eevee?
No. I think Sylveon is really far up there. Based on what I hear and what people coming in say, definitely.
Yeah, I didn't know the lore behind Eevee turning into one of the evolutions, and then I was like kind of berated in the store because I think that Andrew, the guy that works with me at the shows, we were talking about it on live one day, and I was just like, yeah, like how does Eevee become Sylveon? Like how does that happen? He's like the rocks, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So then I was in the store and I'm like, hey,
rub it on him. Rub the rock on them, and there you go. Oh, no. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know how it works, but.
Yeah. Are you a Pokemon guy? Are you into Magic? How did all this start?
I am very much Pokemon, yeah. That's where my heart is. That's where my passion is. Obviously, in dealing with Magic so much, I know a lot about the cards and the sets. Obviously, I do all of the ordering for the stores, so anytime a new set comes out, I obviously do research and see what's in it and stuff like that. But Pokemon is what I'm most passionate about. So that is what primarily focused the store is, just because I think it's important that whoever is front facing or people will deal with the most, if they're passionate about something, I think it shows through on the store level and people see how genuine it is and they get excited with you, and I get excited with them when they pull stuff or they buy certain stuff. So I think the engagement is super important from not just an owner aspect, but employees as well. They got to be passionate and want to be talking about stuff outside of just building decks for a Magic or whatever and saying, okay, this is what you need. Here's this. Just I think the banter and the fun nature of it, I think, is important. It's so easy to get so busy and wrapped up in what you got to do day to day, but it's talking to the people that are coming in kind of keeps you grounded, makes you appreciate and see the value that they must see as well. because anybody can buy anything online. It's
Right.
not. I don't have anything super exclusive or anything crazy that you can't click on Amazon and purchase instantly. They crave that personal touch and interaction, and I think that's a part of why people keep coming back and enjoy going to any store. Right? Is the little extra enjoyment that they get interacting with the people that are there that are just nerds and want to nerd out about the same kind of stuff. I think
Right.
that's
It's
important.
the experience, definitely the experience of going in and being able to talk about something that they like. I mean, like your parents or your family or whoever you live with might not understand or even
Yeah.
care. Like, oh, those damn cards that you're always opening and spend all your money on. And then you come in and you open a Charizard in front of me and I freak out and you freak out. Like
Yep.
it's, it's this experience. And then you want to come back and be like, oh yeah, Marilyn, look what I got in my binder. Mason, look what I got. Or you like, I'm really thinking about this. You still have it in the store. And Mason, what can you do for me with this? It's really nice to form these relationships with your customers. And then they come in, they bring their friends, and like they're all supporting a small business. We got to keep those around.
It is both obviously grassroots in that people tell their friends and go to hang out, but it is scalable to a sense that more people enjoying themselves in your store brings more people in. They see people having fun in it. It's important. Um, that you run events and have some sort of cycles and pre-releases and that kind of stuff. It's important for people to have that type of interaction because it adds so much to the experience of going somewhere and nerding out with other people. It's just a big part of it. So it's something that I try to put a big focus on and try to create a space and create a calendar of events going on that I would want to go to, So that's a big part of having the storefront. And even, applying it to card shows as well. If you're at the same card show all the time, people are going to look for your banner. They're going to look for your, your booth every time because they had a great interaction with you, right? You are building rapport just like I'm building rapport, but you're in a, every off chance whenever they get to go to a show versus a store that people may go when they're in that side of town or whatever. I got a kid that their sister goes to physical therapy close by, so they're like, okay, while we're waiting and they're doing that, I come over and hang out in the store. That's great. That kid could go to the Walmart, Target, he could go anywhere, but he wants to come to my store, and that's awesome. I'm winning. That's a proof positive that positive impacts are fueling future business, right?
Yeah. I mean, like that kid's gonna keep on coming back, and even if he's spending $5 now, he's gonna grow up and get a big boy job, and then he's gonna spend hundreds of dollars and hang out. And
there is that too, for sure.
Yeah.
Having that relationship is just as important with the people that spend, $15-20 every trip than it is with the guys that spend $500 every time they come in. It's they all want the same experience. Obviously, sometimes you got to pick and choose, right? And sometimes the VIPs, as we may call them, get a little bit more treatment, but that's the nature of the beast, right? Everybody comes in and enjoys that experience and some sort of catered nature. I think that's important.
Right. Yeah, definitely, because you can go to Walmart and run in and hope that you catch a restock, and then you're making friends with the people who work in Walmart now. But they don't.
I mean, I guess,
get it.
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, like I've seen it. They're going. They're talking to the people that work there. But like, okay, when's the restock going to happen? But you come into your store or Rob's store, and they're talking about like, okay, so, oh man, like this is really. It sucks I can't get it anywhere else, and I'm getting it here, and I'm able to open it here, and we're able to talk about it, and this is my binder. I mean, like this is a whole relationship you're able to have with these people, and I really enjoy that. That's my favorite part of being a part of the store or being part of the show. I mean, like being a part of the brand, and like you said, like you go and you try to find someone's banner, you try to find their name on the map or like the list that's going to be there, and you're like, oh my goodness, Mason's here, like, oh, me, I saw him on YouTube. Maybe I could get to meet him, or like, that's cool. I really think that that's important too, that like when, and people get to meet you in real life and they're like, oh, wow, he's the same guy.
Yeah. I don't even think it's important. I think it's everything.
Right.
Especially here locally. It's so important to keep those relationships because, maybe they go through their cycle, right? They enjoy it they collect whatever for 6 months, a year and a half, whatever, however long. And then they say, oh, well, I'm moving on. I'm having a baby where,
Right.
I have this stuff that I'm collecting. Okay. Where are they going to take it to sell to immediately? Me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm the guy. I'm number one because
right.
I sold it all to them for one,
Right.
and they had a great experience. So that's super important, and then part of the life cycle of products leaving and hopefully products coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where sometimes if it doesn't always feel like a great use of their time to use of my time to talk to everybody that comes in, but if it causes repeat business, like that's pays dividends down the road for sure.
Do you get a lot of people reaching out to you that want to start their own store, especially like right now?
All the time, so much, and every video I ever talk to people, or if I mention, and I used to do a series called Card Shop Candids, where it's basically like, hey, you want to know how this works, or how to run this aspect of a store, or what are the things that you need to consider if you want to open a store. It's a great series on my channel that still holds up. It's still valid for today, but I'm always seem like I'm talking against opening a store, and in some ways, I am, because there is more than one way to be profitable and run a business in this cardboard space, right? Even if you just go to shows, absolutely, that's a valid way of maybe just do online, completely valid. Maybe just sell bulk out of your house, completely valid. There's no right or wrong way here to run a business, and I think there is a time and a place to go physical and brick and mortar, but we now have so many more ways to reach out to people and sell things, whether it be online or in person, that maybe it's not always the right play. So maybe you can start slower, or maybe you'll build up to that point. Right. But a lot of people say, "Yep, I want to open up a brick and mortar," and they don't have any experience with TCG Player or selling any sort of thing. Baby steps. Let's work our way up to these things, because just like when I started this business, going out to a bank and getting a $500,000 loan, it's not an option for a large majority of people. Especially people that want to start in this space. You got to start small. You got to start selling on eBay, on TCG Player, and build up. Maybe get an office space where you work out of. If you have to leave your house and feel like you can't get work done, go somewhere, get an office space, and then then you have a place to meet up with people, and that gives at least some sort of place to meet up outside of your house, or meeting up in a Walmart parking lot. You could have an actual space to sit down and be able to price things out with somebody. It's important. And then do that for a little while, and then see, let's ease into it. We don't have to go all the way in to just open up a store immediately, because it's inorganic for one thing, and I think that's how people get into doing this, and then learn that it's not for them because they jumped in and did too much too fast. So some people are built for the grind and for the buildup of ramping up your business, and some people say, man, this is too much work, I'm good,
right?
I'll just do it as a side hobby, or a side income. And that's, again, perfectly valid. There's nothing wrong with that, and there's a part of that you can be extremely successful and just work another 9 to 5 and be just fine. So there's tons of ways to make money out there with cards.
Yeah, I think that's a common misconception about opening a store, is that you're just in the store, and in order to be able to make some money, like, you really have to diversify. It can't just be just the store. It has to be the TCG Player and Amazon and eBay and however else. And it's multiple accounts and multiple things running all at the same time in order to make some money. I mean, like, as much as it my friends, they think that when Rob opened the store, they're like, oh, doesn't he just like sit around and play with nerds all day? I'm like, no, like
No.
like when people
First of all,
no, Rob doesn't sit down ever.
first of all, yeah, that's not Rob. Just in general, I know
Right,
that. I know
right.
him well enough to know that. And two, yeah, it's if that's what you want to build, um, you better be already well off and financially fit,
Right.
and this is just a hobby for you. I know people that do that and just have a store just because they want to have a place to hang out, and they're open from like 4 to 10, and they have a great time, and that's a cool spot that people want to hang out at. But I don't I don't think if you're just doing cards, I don't think you can have a just brick and mortar and just that be your sole income. I don't think there's a way to do it. Uh, it'd be very, very difficult, and I just, especially with products being so limited, not you can go months without getting any product from distribution.
Right.
Sometimes you have to have other assets and other avenues to make money. It's not just, hey, I get a brick and mortar, I get sealed product, I become a millionaire. God, I wish, but that's not how it
Me
goes.
too.
It's
I
really
wouldn't be working
it's
full
really not
time.
right. So there's so much more to it, and even just try to juggle all the eBay and TCG player, and if you want to do stuff with Amazon, and you got to get employees if you want a big
Right.
store. That's a whole separate thing. I hate it. HR is the absolute least favorite thing. Well, that in taxes, obviously, but that goes without saying. But HR, man, it's. I love my employees. They all do great work for me. I think I do okay taking care of them and treat them pretty well. But man, it's just a pain in the butt to not have. Oh, I got even if it's just minor inconveniences. It's just I got to plan for those things. Then it
Right.
falls on me, and then I'm just grumpy, and then I feel resentment, and then it's just like not. It's not a good way to be. It's not. It doesn't.
Right.
It hurts your relationship with them more than it helps. So it can be very difficult to manage employees and that kind of extra stuff on top of that. It just adds a whole different kind of stress to running the business that is already stressful enough as it is.
Right. How many employees do you have?
Um, Currently 11, not counting me and Zach between the two stores. So
Wow.
13 total.
13.
It's a lot. It's a lot. That's a
Yeah.
huge amount of overhead. But for two stores and to have people doing all assets and facets that we have to do, um, it's kind of essential.
Yeah. And it's hard to trust someone. I mean, like this is something that you built. I mean, not just your
Sure.
like like physical store and your money and your product, but it's your reputation too. You want to make sure that you hire the right people that are going to treat your customers the way you want them to be treated.
Yeah.
And that's kind of scary too when you're entrusting these people. But I mean, to have that many employees, are they all people that have been working with you for a long time, or is it kind of like a mix?
No, we have people that the best people that hire, I think, are former customers because they get it and they've received the treatment that you want to put out there. It's very difficult when
Hmm.
somebody says, no, I've worked at GameStop or somewhere else, but I haven't
Right.
really worked anywhere like this before. It's like, well, let me show you how we would like things to be done. And I always say, nobody's going to care as much as I do, and it doesn't matter how much I pay them. It doesn't matter how much, what position they're at. No one's going to care as much as me because it's not theirs. It just
Right.
isn't. So, uh, I have great employees. Like I said, they care very much. They do their best that they can, but no one's going to care as much as the person who's signing the checks. That's just the way it is.
Right.
So, uh, trying to run through scenarios if you have to, or make a handbook and stuff like that. That's a whole different thing. Oh God, trying to come up with that kind of thing and cover every single scenario, and you're like, all right, well, here's another thing to put in the handbook because whenever something new pops up, you're like, all right,
Right. Right.
let me make sure everybody knows what to do here. Stuff like that
Do
is
you have
just
a handbook?
yes. We have not an entire like here's this for every situation, but as
Uh-huh.
far as like what to look
roles and
for. Sure.
roles, responsibilities, and stuff like that.
Right, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of that when you have this many people, it has to be documented because or else there wouldn't be any sort of consistency to it. But yeah, that's again just a part of having so many people working for you that you try to make it as even keeled as possible, and every experience that somebody comes in, whether they deal with me or they deal with one of them, that it's comparable. I still get people in all the time. They're like, "Hey, where are you working today? What store are you going to be at?" I'm like, "Brother, I know you just want to deal with me," and it's just like, like I promise you, my employees are going to treat you just as well, if not better, than all that. So, but people have preferences, and obviously, I'll be honest, I enjoy dealing with people most of the time too. So, especially ongoing long-term customers. My business is built off that, those type of guys. So, I do enjoy at least taking care of them because they've taken care of me for so long,
Yeah.
So.
How often are you in the store? Are you there every day, or
Yeah, I'm
I guess
there.
your warehouse area or your storage area is built on your store, so I guess you have to.
I've had one day off in the past 2 weeks, so I'm doing pretty good. This is it, and I'm doing this here with you. So,
oh well, thank you.
Well, no, I mean that's again, I can't even stay away from it one day,
Right.
But yeah, it's obviously it's what I enjoy doing, and it's gives me a lot of fulfillment. So, I enjoy being there, and it's probably to the business's detriment. I could be doing so much other higher end stuff, higher end focused stuff, but I like being hands on. I like being the grunt, doing the grunt work, digging through bulk. It's just how I am. I will stay after hours doing menial tasks for no reason, just because I enjoy it. What am I going to do? Go home and watch YouTube videos? Why?
Yeah, watch Rob on YouTube.
Well, Rob has to make more content for that to be a thing. But,
right? No, he keeps on every time he has a new video. He's like, "All right, this is my new weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, 6-monthly."
Wow, throwing him under the bus. Holy smokes.
I mean, I watch the videos too. Like sometimes he's like, "Oh wow, this video is performing well." I'm like, "Oh, you posted the video today?" Because like it's very unexpected when they come out. So
yeah.
But yeah, when I talking to you is a lot like talking to him because
I know it's basically. I can't imagine it's any different. You could sit down, Rob, and ask him the same questions. It's probably
I don't know if he likes being in the store as much as you do. I mean,
I know he doesn't. Yeah,
but yeah, he I mean, I see him talk to people and the way that he is able to give people a very personalized service. So I could see why he doesn't like to be there that often, because then that's all he's doing. And although he enjoys it, there's other things that he needs to be doing outside of the store.
Well, look, that means that he's better than me, because again, I could be doing some other higher end stuff. I could be doing stuff that Rob's doing, and I'm probably being better off for it. But I work so much. I do so much for the business. I'm working on it all the time. I may as well enjoy it. Enjoy what I'm doing, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Do you feel like you have to respond to everyone's messages? Like I know that you must be completely flooded with
all the
emails and messages and comments. You feel obligated to respond to everyone,
especially with being like the face of the business, right? Is with so much that I deal with and handle. That comes with it too. Is I'm the guy.
Yeah.
It's just it is what it is, and part of that, and no one's going to be able to answer questions as well as me, so it may as well just be me anyways that answers the questions. I'm not going to pay somebody to come ask me a question that I could have just answered myself. It's just like, why would I do that?
Yeah. Oh, people have Rob just doesn't respond to a lot.
No, I know.
People have
I've noticed. Don't get me wrong. I've noticed, but
well, but people reach out to me now because they know that I'm responsive, because I guess I'm a lot like you in the I'm the guy when it comes to the show, and I feel like I have to respond, even if it's no, I don't have any tables until April. No, I can't get in the show next weekend. No, I'm
Right.
sorry, we can't do this. Oh, I can't do this. And although it's, it's taxing, especially because you're like, okay, I need to just shut off. But it's also
Yeah.
you're the guy, and you have to.
Yeah.
So let's talk about another bad thing that comes along with owning a store. You
Mm.
mentioned that there was a theft. So
Yeah.
was it someone you knew, or did you know
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened?
I don't know these people. No.
Um,
Um, they'd come in and had a repair done, and then somebody walked out with a couple plush. Um, it it happens, you know.
like a repair person stole a plush.
No, I'm sorry. Somebody that because we repair game consoles. That's the part involved gaming. And
Oh! I
repair.
thought that you
Like,
meant like they
that,
were like repairing a
I'm
light or
sorry. No,
something, like or like a
that'd be insane, and I would make a way bigger deal about that. But they're getting a console of theirs repaired. They come to pick it up, and somebody that they had with them walked out with some things. Luckily, I had a phone number and a name to give the police, but also give them a call and see if they wanted to rectify the issue. And as of 8 minutes ago, they have been returned, and you know, problem kind of solved. Not really, but like I guess it's at least I got my stuff back kind of situation. Um,
like how stupid do you have to be?
I
You
mean,
they gave their information to you or their
yeah,
companion, whoever it was with you, them.
yeah,
You had their information, you had them on camera, or they were caught in some way. Like
right.
like this isn't like you're. It's not a victimless crime here. It's like and it's like you were so stupid. Like
Yeah,
why?
I
Like
mean, it's just like to make it relatable. Like even at card shows, right? You
mhm,
see, you have hundreds of people walk by you, thousands of people potentially walk by your booth, right, in
mhm,
front of your stuff. Any amount of stuff can go missing. Any amount of stuff, it only takes a second for something to disappear and walk away. Um, we have done a lot in the way of making sure that that type of stuff doesn't happen. If it does, it'll be like something like a plush that okay, I lost $20. It is what it is. But it's all bad, and I
right,
think um, giving out that type of thing because I blast them on Facebook and people shared all the posts about it and all that stuff. That's part of it too that we try to make an effort to do. Is just like, hey, um, let's blow these guys up, put a little pressure on them. If we don't have anything else to go off of, at least maybe we'll get a name and then give it to the detectives. In the past, it doesn't sound like that's worth your time, but at least the police that I've had work cases or detectives that we've had work our cases, we've had a lot of that type of stuff resolved, and um, they pay us restitution, and it's I say what it is. I hate thieves anyways, so if I ruin their reputation, what do I care, right? But
right.
I had an ambulance driver steal from us that was wearing his uniform, uh,
Oh my god.
and he lost his job, and and all that stuff because they saw the post. And it's like I've had their company that hired him reach out and be like, "Hey, can you please take that post down because our brand is right there on his chest? Can you please take it down?" And
Right.
uh, after things got resolved, I did go ahead and take it down. But yeah, dude lost his job. It's just people are just it's just like at a show. It's a crime of opportunity because they
Right.
think they can get away with it. They don't think you're gonna notice at the show, especially. It's so hard. I don't know. You guys just got to be real careful when you put stuff out and make sure that people are um, you're watching and being vigilant. I know that's it's not easy, but making it at least preventative efforts can be the thing that makes a difference in preventing that kind of stuff from happening. Like I said, I've done a lot, but um, I don't want to say it's expected because I should never expect to be robbed from, right? But
Right.
it does happen. Happens a lot. Um, it seems like it's seasonal and it comes in batches, but
Oh, really?
all the more reason to blow them up on Facebook. Just see that hey, we're catching people. They're getting caught. Like it's when something like this happens, I can say hey, they brought it back. It's all good. It's not all good, but you know, I got my stuff
Right.
back. So people see that there is at least some sort of consequence to it, if not legal, at least maybe somebody that sees you, that knows you, will say and see it, and something will happen, and that's all I got.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is the justice of it, is that knowing that I've had people literally tagged in our Facebook posts of their Facebook, like their account of their name, and you kind of like, yep, that's him. It matches the photo exactly. It's just like that's a little bit of street justice that at least
Right.
goes a little bit of ways, So
Yeah, I think that with vendors having cameras on them, it's so great for
yeah,
security. I mean, like you're not only like making content, but also you're catching anything. And I
yeah,
recently we had someone who was a vendor went into another LGS, and he stole all the 151 singles from a binder,
yikes,
and he was on camera. And so the LGS posted his picture, and he vended with me.
yeah. And
I
you knew him,
knew exactly who he was. I had all of his information, email address, his wife's name and phone number, his name and phone number. And I'm just like, what? Why
yeah,
wouldn't I give that information to the LGS? I mean, like you did this small game store dirty.
yeah,
Like what is like you can't just get away with something like that. It's completely wrong, and it's like why? Like you're making people like you're making like LGSs not want to trust people with their binders. And like I don't know what their situation was, if they stepped away from the counter or let people walk around the store with the binders. But I'm just like, like you're just ruining it for everyone. And then like now that LGS is like out all this money, I mean, like it's like
yeah,
and the product and both. And it's just like what, like why?
yeah. I mean,
Because
that's why,
you had to have these singles, like you
yeah, that's why it's so important to, if you have any sort of information like that, or if you see something, we're all in it together, right? I
right,
would do exactly what you did, because I would want that to be done with me if something happened with
right,
me, right? So that's the idea. That's the community aspect of not just buyers and people that vend or come to your shows, but the vendors as well. It's on us too
right.
to watch out for each other. I think that's very important. Um, this is not the topic of the show, but I do have a
Yeah.
little a stupid story. If you'll give me 2 minutes to tell it.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
I had a couple come in one of our locations, and they had an RV, and they drove around, and I saw the RV in the parking lot, and they were talking about this and that or the other. I was like, huh, they drive around and they have magic stuff that they were buying. I was like, huh. I remember seeing like on the Facebook groups, because game store owners have Facebook groups and stuff that we all join, and they post things about. And I remember seeing a post about a couple going around stealing from LGSs, and they were in an RV. I was like, huh. I'll just go back and I'll see. Maybe it's them. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't remember what they look like, but let's just see. And of course, dead ringer for this couple. Like,
Mm-mm.
obviously knew who it was. So, yeah, I reached out to the LGS that posted that original thing. I was like, hey, I have them in my store. I don't know if they have your stuff, but I'm going to call the police right now, and we're going to see what can be done. Um, Unfortunately, the story doesn't have a happy ending, because they walked away that day, but it was definitely them, and I definitely had to ban them. And they were selling stuff to us, so we were buying probably stolen goods. So we
Mm,
undid that transaction. I was like, I don't want any part of that, and
right,
banned them from my store. But as far as we know, nothing happened crazy. But that's so important that maybe something would have. Maybe when
right.
they left, they could have taken some stuff, or whatever. But that's uh, that's why this type of stuff is so important, and like having Discord so you can share information and stuff like that. Discord is huge for us just internally, but also with other businesses and game store owners. Discord is just so easy and fun to use. I think it's a great utility. If you guys don't have one, I would recommend maybe having one for your vendors and stuff, just for them to keep on tabs and talk to. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I should probably have them for this, not for the store, for the show. But I
Yeah,
know that the vendors have their own group text between them,
sure.
and
Yeah,
if there's something going on, that if the show was good, the show was bad. Marilyn's giving me a hard time. It's all in the group text.
well,
It always gets back to me. It always gets back to me.
I have ears everywhere, everyone.
Well, everyone's, willing to tell on someone, which is,
Yeah,
but
but yeah, that's just some experiences. It's been a crazy couple, 9 years. I'll say that.
what, if you could do it all again, would you open a brick and mortar, or do you think that you would just do shows, or what would you be doing if you weren't doing this?
Oh no, not this
I guess
question.
that's two different questions. If you weren't doing, I guess has this all you've done in your adult life, or
No, no,
have you
no.
done any other job?
No, I've done a bunch of silly things. I worked at TSA at the airport for a long time, so I was
Oh wow.
a federal officer for a while, so that was fun. Uh, and I actually, while having the store, I was doing that for probably 5 years. Working.
5 years.
I was working, getting in there at 4 a.m. at the airport, getting off at noon, and then opening the store and working until 8 o'clock at night. Yeah, absolutely. That's
Rob did it for maybe 6 months, and like it was just not going to work. I
well,
mean, like
yeah,
I'm impressed that like you and him both walked away from very good pension jobs
yeah,
to work for yourself. Like that's impressive and an inspiration. That's fantastic. If you have the heart to do it, I'm very impressed that
yeah.
you have been doing it 9 years strong. That's wow.
Knowing what I know now, and knowing the trend of what things would eventually come to be, I would probably not open the brick and mortar and just did it online, because the opportunity is just there to just be flipping cards and slabs or whatever. When we first started 9 years ago, nobody cared about slabbed Pokemon. No one cared. That wasn't
Right.
like nobody even. Surely they existed, but I didn't know anybody that had any. No, I could probably count on my hand how many times somebody brought a slab in the first 3 or 4 years of my store existing. We just never
Mhm.
saw them. That wasn't a thing, And then now they've obviously exploded, and kids come in and say, "Hey, where are your slabs at?"
Right.
They who cares about raw? They want the slabs.
Right.
It adds a whole another chase mechanic on top of opening product and sending off to get graded, and you know it's the same type of people that enjoy opening packs, collecting that type of stuff, also enjoy sending cards that get graded, or buying graded cards, or having the best cards in best condition, right? So
Mhm.
it's they do go hand in hand. It is an obvious maturing of the market that slabs would be a part of this too. Obviously, you want to collect and protect the good stuff from being damaged. So putting it in a hard plastic cover makes sense to me. You know.
Yeah, Rob didn't have like hardly any slabs until like six
Yeah.
months ago,
Yeah.
or
It's
not even maybe 3 months ago. Now
yeah.
there's a ton of slabs. We definitely have a lot more singles than slabs, but slabs are fairly new. And I knew it was changing when GameStop started
Oh,
grading with PSA,
huge,
and I was just
huge.
like,
Yeah.
just wait, and then boom, and then graded guards came, and it was boom, boom, and like I'm just like I can't believe that this is there's a whole market of guards that go around your graded cards. And I'm just like, why
Well,
didn't
you
I
gotta
think of it?
protect the things that protect your stuff that you're protecting. Yeah, that makes
Right.
sense.
Right. So
Yeah.
you gotta the grading, the grades and all that.
Mhm.
It's next level, but it really is endless with what can happen with TCG right now. I'm curious to see what is next, because we have graded guards, we have all these slabs. Like what do you think? You think that
Yeah, I mean, I
well,
don't think we're maxed out on what we have currently. Like, if you're talking about just Pokemon in particular, um,
right.
they have so many levers they could pull. They have so many goofy gimmicks they could do if they wanted to. Uh, you know, Poke-
The box toppers on the journey together.
yeah, that's
I'm not a Pokemon guy, but I'm excited.
yeah.
You
Well,
know?
even like you were talking about the surprise boxes for Prismatic.
Yeah.
That in itself, you can tell, is a test product. Okay, we're gonna give you a 1 in 9 chance to get the hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
They in themselves have just made a mystery box.
Right.
Pokemon themselves. Why would they not do it with other things down the road that, maybe they print some exclusive promos and they have one that's a chase or a shiny version, or
Serialized cards.
that is always a lever that they could pull, if something was truly going awful. But They don't have to. Pokemon is doing so awesome. I don't think that they really need to do serialized cards, but they always could.
Mm-hmm.
They always could do or just make like I always thought it would be cool if they just did shiny versions of like the big hit out of the thing, like having an alt art, but have it be a shiny version. It wouldn't be
Mm.
serialized, but it'd be a different look to it. And you'd know it'd be special, right? So
Yeah.
um, I think that's always a cool, fun way that they could implement, kind of like a sports level, like different kind of treatment to them that could make it kind of special. But um, I'm sure they have plenty of other ideas too. And you were talking about Journey Together, the way that they're doing full arts with the trainers in the background. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. I think that's awesome. What a genius thing! Whoever thought that up, like
Right.
you crushing it. Like that's such an obvious move. It's basically an alt art, but it's just a full art because it has the
Right.
trainer and the Pokemon with it. Like it's the most easiest way to do it. It's cool. Um, they'll always have things that they can do like that.
Have you always had Japanese product in your store, or
No,
is this
yeah,
something new?
no, that's
Yeah.
new too. That's uh, I I talked with so many people doing shows and things that I have some connections with people, and one of the guys that I talk to on a regular basis, and he has a YouTube too.
Mm-hmm.
He's retro specs is what
Mm-hmm.
his
Mm-hmm.
YouTube channel is called. He has connections with people in Japan. I think he has some family, some extended family that maybe have card stores and stuff. So he basically drop ships sealed product and can do it very cheaply because he doesn't have to touch it, and he just passes it on to they ship it directly to us. So it's always the cheapest that I can find anywhere online. If anybody else needs product, hey, go check them out. But yeah, I didn't think it was worth investing in or carrying, but we brought it in here recently, and with the dry spell of English, it's done very well for us. People really like it. TCG player putting the singles on and having that being an outlet to sell singles on too. We can buy Japanese singles as well now, and have a way to move them online if we needed to. All those things together, just it makes sense that we could do both, right? So we've been doing. I've probably sold. I think Rob said the same thing too. I think we probably sold more Japanese boxes in December than we did English boxes, just because we could get Japanese stuff and we couldn't get English.
Right.
So we have to make up that the margin somewhere, and that's definitely a way to do it. And it's fun. People enjoy it. Um, Packs are normally a little bit cheaper for the standard sets, so people enjoy paying $3 for a pack instead of the $4.50, $5 now. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of things that are enjoyable and a bonus to carrying Japanese stuff. Um,
Yeah, I think it
just
also like the people who like enjoying opening the hits. There's a lot of hits in these
yeah,
boxes with
yeah,
the Japanese. It feels a little better. I mean, when
and they
especially
look
if
so
you have
good. They look
yeah,
way better.
right.
They're so much better quality typically. So yeah, it's it's really cool to see um, those types of people that maybe did collect that stuff. Now it's like, oh shoot, you guys have Japanese? All right, cool. Let me get a couple boxes because maybe they were buying it online or whatever. Now they can buy it from me, and it's
Yeah.
just a way to expand. And people come in and know that I'll have Japanese stuff if I don't have English. So it's a nice little added bonus on top of what I would normally carry singles wise or anything like that. It's between Japanese sealed product slabs and then English. We got a lot to do, a lot to cover with that kind of stuff.
What do you I know we've already gone over an hour, but I'm just curious. I
No, yeah,
like I got a couple more questions, but
no,
so I know you
yeah,
have a great online presence with YouTube. How important do you think it is to be involved with social media and have and grow an audience through social media with your business, either with vending or with your brick and mortar?
yeah. Super important. I mean, I would say that especially in the first boom during COVID, things like that, when people were exclusively that's all you could do is order online, right?
Hmm.
That was huge, huge for us. We went from basically laying off laying off all of our employees, that March and April. Some people volunteered, to
Hmm.
to go off on unemployment or whatever. Obviously, very scary time. I didn't know what was going to happen. Pokemon saved us. Like me making content and then having that
Hmm.
outlet of people knowing that we exist. Starting a Shopify and then having a website and having a place for people to order and buy from. It literally saved our business. to have that type of presence out there. It's so important. And maybe we would have done decent sales otherwise, but again, to have somebody be able to watch me and be like, yeah, I want to support that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Not just, I don't have to be the cheapest, or I don't have to fight over buy boxes, or on TCG Player or whatever. People are going to buy directly from me because they know they can trust me, or I'm an established business, or the credibility is huge for that kind of stuff. So if you don't do any socials, you have to. I mean, it's just part of the game. Even if it's just having an Instagram and posting, "Hey, I got this card in," or "I bought this collection." Takes no time to do it, and we need to do better about it as well. But it's something that YouTube does a lot of heavy lifting. But even like if you have a website, get your own website. If you sell things online, and then if you want to put them on eBay and integrate that stuff, that way you can. And then you have email lists. So you have all these email lists that you can send out to and build with customers and have instant contact with people that have bought things from you in the past. It's huge. It's what the big boys do. That's what we got to do to keep people coming in and keep things moving. All those things. It takes time. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of knowledge and trial and error to get that stuff up and running. But it will pay off in the long run as you build a base around you. It's so important. Yeah.
Are you still playing Card Shops Stimulator?
I need to.
Simulator?
It's funny. They had a recent update on it, and they have Ultra Pro has like a brand deal with them. So there's like Ultra Pro products in there now. Yeah, it's cool to see. Good for them. But yeah, it's really cool that they added that.
I really wish there was a reality show based on like card shops. I mean, like I think
there's a couple like YouTube channels that do that kind of stuff, but there's not one that's like does it like super well or super entertaining. I think it would be cool to do.
I think it would be fun if they're like, and this is Mason in Kentucky, and this is and they're like, and this is Rob in New Jersey, and like this is whoever in this place, and like kind of compare like what's going on and how you all guys could be like, we can't get any more product. I've been cut.
I know.
It'll just build the hype even more, right?
Yeah, it'd be like a Storage Wars kind of thing, like
right?
If there's like different teams. But I have thought about doing that, or like doing more like like just like live recordings. I did a couple of videos where I was doing like live buys, like going through a collection with somebody and talking through them and doing buys like that, which I thought people really enjoyed them. But there's a lot of issues with that. Like, maybe my employees don't want to be on camera all the time or that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of things like that I have to watch out and be careful of and be conscious of. But I think that there's a huge market out there for that. I know there's video game stores that do kind of the, daily vlog kind of things, or, every couple of days they'll post a video or whatever about what they've been doing. But as far as like card shops, I don't know of any that do it on like a really true regular basis. And then if you could have multiple shops that send clips in or send film in and kind of splice it as see what everybody's doing, I think that'd be really cool. That'd be a good idea.
Let's sell it. Like,
I mean, look, I'll strap a GoPro onto me. I'm good.
Yeah, right. This is copyrighted by us. Okay, no one can steal these ideas.
Right.
No, I say that to Rob all the time. I said people would love to just watch what you do on a day to day. Like if you just set up the camera and just like how much time you go over to the Roca and now you're fixing the 3D printer and now you're yelling at this guy and now you're like answering the phone. Then you have to run over to the warehouse and drop off the in-store pickups, and then you have to go and you're covering the store for a little bit. Yeah. And it's
having two locations. I know that all too well too. Rob, if you're still there, but I spend so much time driving back and forth between the two stores. I don't even know if it's worth it at this point, but it's a part of it. Somebody's got to do it. It's going to be, again, the guy that cares the most, right? So it's going to be It's going to be us. It's just part of it.
Mason, thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Oh, of course.
I've learned so much about you and your store and everything that you're doing. Where could we find you, and what's next? Are you doing any shows? Or you said that you're going to do or try to do Chicago Collecticon, the 2 shows that are going to be going on this year. Or any other local shows that you'll be doing?
Outside of like the typical like it's called the Little Arcade Expo
Mhm.
that we do. I might do Charlotte Collecticon. It might be another one that I want to do, depending if I can get out there or not. Like there's a Miami show for Collecticon that I want to do. It's
Mhm.
on my birthday weekend. So,
Oh,
but I don't know if I can make that happen. I don't know. We'll see. But otherwise, it's just CNA Games on YouTube is our channel if people want to check it out. We are on Instagram. We have a website, but the CNA Games YouTube is probably where most people will enjoy it. I do videos about running a card store and things that are distribution. It's mostly Pokemon focused, but not always. It's applicable to a lot of things. So um, that's always the fun part of networking with not just the people customers, but also people like your husband and people out there that uh, fellow businesses that I can steal ideas from, or they steal ideas from me. So like the IKEA drawers. That was
yeah.
an original thing. I kind of did refine them, I think, pretty well, but yeah, I can't steal all that being an original idea. But that's the cool part about being online and talking with people. Definitely reach out if anybody wants to have any questions or anything. Happy to
He'll
answer.
answer you.
Absolutely.
Go find Mason. He's going to answer you.
Someone's got to do it, and it's going to be me.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
All right, Mason, thank you so much. And I'm like, won't be seeing you at the end of the month at Gamma, but
Mm.
hopefully we can get out to Kentucky soon to see you.
Oh, that'd be cool. Or maybe I can go do one of your shows. That'd be cool.
Oh, that would be awesome. Anytime
Yeah.
you want to come, I'll kick someone out. No, I won't do
Oh,
that.
no.
No.
I will do it. I'll do it plenty in
No,
advance to let you know. But
no, we gotta do it in good weather because now we got snow and you don't want
yeah, I got.
anything to do with that.
For sure.
All right, Mason, thank you.
All right. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.